now. Okay, so I think we are live now. Hi
Hello.
everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hello. I think we are audible to everyone. Maybe a few people in the chats can let us know if we are audible. And yeah,
Y-
so I'm just
y-
waiting for a few people to interact in the chat so that we can know. And the ones who are on the Zoom call, please introduce yourself, and have you all completed the React lessons? Let us know. So the ones who are joining us on the YouTube live, please let us know if you are able to hear us so that we can begin the session. Quickly begin the
Actually, I
session.
checked it. It works.
Oh, it works. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Okay, I got some reply. So, thank you everyone for joining today. I know it's a weekend evening and you all must have had some good lunch and must be sleeping or but it's very good that you all have come and completed the first lesson of React and joined us today for this session. So, it's great to have Praveen with us today. He's very experienced in the field of React, Node.js, JavaScript, everything. If I talk about him, he has been mentoring a lot of students. He has his own YouTube channel, and currently he's working with Virtusa as the lead consultant in UK, London. So we have a lot of we have, I can say a lot of words about Praveen, but it will be great if Praveen can introduce
I'll
a bit
introduce
about
myself.
himself.
Thank you.
Yeah, right, right, right. So thank you everyone for joining, and let's get started without waiting any time. So over to you, Praveen.
Cool. Thank you, Ankita. That was an awesome intro. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Praveen. I'm originally from Chennai, India, and currently living and working in London. I'm a full stack JavaScript developer, and I've got like about a decade of work experience here. And I'm also a swag hunter, so you can see this is an amazing swag. So if anyone wants to be a swag hunter, please come and ask me. I'm active on LinkedIn and other places where you can find me commonly. So LinkedIn and YouTube is where I'm fully on. Like what do you call this? Yeah, I'm fully on. What do you call? I'm active here, and now let me go ahead and yeah, this is my LinkedIn address and that's my YouTube address. Go ahead, hit me with your requests. Happy to accept everyone, and also don't forget to subscribe to that. Okay, so I keep saying that I'm full stack developer, full stack developer. So what's a full stack developer without a website, right? So I'm gonna share my screen, and please let me know if my the way I talk and is everything audible and clear, so that I'll make sure that it is clear. So let me share my screen. So here's the thing. So this is my website. It's praveen.science, and I'll just send it over. So I believe a lot of people here are going to be web developers or are budding web developers. So I would request everyone to have a like at least a basic website. That's exactly what I would ask you all to do it, and you can access my website here. So this is just a like a basic example of a website of a full stack developer. So it has a small introduction. I'm doing a lot of things here, and here's where you can actually stalk me and get me connected with. And there is a small kuti intro. So it's a small intro. What am I doing? And what is my profile? What is my skill set, etc. Am I being hired? Like, am I available for hire or something like that? Then what is my experience? So for students who do not have experience, you can just go ahead and put an education list, something like that. And these are all made up numbers. Just don't believe these things. And then here's what I have done so far. Like, I would have taken just screenshots and put it at, and here's where I scribble my thoughts. And then this is what people talk behind my back. And if you want to talk behind my back, here's a way to do that. So this is a simple thing I would ask everyone, whoever is a web developer, to have something like this. So yeah, I do have my YouTube channel as well. Please go ahead, check it out. There are like so many awesome videos, and you can go ahead and just subscribe yourself. And then I'm doing currently a lot of things. Like for example, there is this winter of code, and there is something awesome coming up. So we are doing something called as 30 days in React. So this is exclusively I'm saying here because I haven't said this outside. So I'm gonna release the what do you call this? I'm gonna release the trailer today. So this is so how is this, Ankita? So I'm just using this platform to release something awesome. So don't
Yeah,
forget, go check it out. Ankita, I would like you to be a part of this as well. So I'm
sure.
gonna grab you in as well. So there are like so many different topics I'm gonna take, and there are so many co-hosts with me. They're gonna learn, and we all are going to learn. So it is mainly
Wow.
for like like it's awesome. Okay, so go
Yeah.
ahead, check it out, and it will be really interesting. Okay, so without any delays, let's go ahead and look at what exactly my system is. Okay, so cool. So about this, the next thing which I'm gonna show is like what is my development environment made up of. So if you just go to Google and type in Praveen Dev Environment, I'm just gonna copy this and put it on the chat as well. Okay, just go ahead and open in Google this one. So the moment you see it, the first link is my personal development environment. And this is what I have set it up as. So I'm using before anything, I'm using a Mac machine. It's an Apple Mac machine, and it's an old machine, kind of like 2015 model. It's been 5 years. Um, yeah, I guess 3 years maybe the moment I bought it. So I'm using Google Chrome for all my primary web development works because it is very easy, and it has a lot of features in it so that I can work on web development stuff. So there are a couple of web extensions that I'm using as well. So one of them is React Dev Tools. So it is here. We should be using this because we will be what do you call this? So I'm just gonna put everything in the chat as well. So yeah, so React Dev Tools help you to debug all the React based applications. So that is also helping you in a lot of things. Then apart from that, we have some of the right. We have some of the other things. For example, I'm using Zoom for all these conferences and talking to people, getting help. I mean, like giving help or getting help with someone. Then Git. Always I ask people to, like, when you're using your source code for the first time, please use Git because it is going to help you in backtracking to another, like time traveling your code, so that it is really helpful in that way. This is a Mac OS specific thing. I'm using iTerm 2, which is actually a cool what do you call this, it's a terminal. It has a lot of features, so you can read about item 2. And I'm using something called as omizsh, which is again, I'll be showing you all these things now. Okay, then we have Sublime Text 2. That is mainly I'm using Sublime Text, the old version, not the 3, which is the latest version. 2 for all my web development activities, and I'm using a couple of plugins with it as well. So we can forget about VirtualBox, Vagrant, Scotch, Adminer. Meld is a good, like when you see in Git and GitHub, you can see the differences, right? So for comparing two files, Meld is really nice. So I suggest Meld. Coming to our main thing, we'll be using Node.js for everything. So Node.js is the um, runtime environment for JavaScript, where you will be running everything. Like, how should I say this in a better way? So JavaScript runs only on browser, right? So if you go to your browser, type in inspect, and go to this console part, that is where you see this console. And then here you do something like say um, a is equal to 5, b is equal to 10, a plus b is going to be 15, something like that. So all these JavaScript code are executed by the JavaScript runtime engine in browser, which is technically called as V8 engine in Chrome. The same V8 engine is written in is being used in Node.js as well. So this is the platform which is the runtime environment. If you don't have a browser, if you need to work on anything, that you will be using Node.js on it. Then finally, we have a lot of other things. Typora is one of the best things I will say for editing Markdown. It is like super cool. You don't need any other Markdown editor. I'll yeah, I'll give you a demo later. And then coming to our first main thing, Visual Studio Code. I have been a huge fan of Sublime Text until I found Visual Studio Code doing a lot more things that Sublime cannot do. So what happens here is VS Code integrates a lot well with React and React related environments, and with these couple of plugins. Okay, I just wanted to ask everyone here, whoever is here, who is lazy? I'm gonna say that I'm the laziest person ever in the world. But you all, how many of you are lazy? How many of you would like to be lazy? Right. It seems to be a lot of people. I'm just going to quickly check the YouTube chats as well. Okay, cool. Not much in the YouTube chats, but yes, hey, cool. A lot of people are messaging on Zoom, which is every developer is Arushi. Yes, you are right. So I'm going to quickly ask you. I believe everyone have actually finished the HTML and CSS part. Obviously, after that only you'll be doing the React, right? So if I try to go create something, so this is a website, and let's say I've got a, oh wow, I didn't know that I can perfectly draw a line like this. Anyway, tricks. Okay, so we have a logo here. Sorry about my handwriting. Then we have a navigation bar here. There are 4 navigation buttons, which says nav 1, nav 2, nav 3, and nav 4. I'll tell you the markup how this is actually, so that you will be able to understand what we can do here. Okay, so this is a header tag. Then there is a h1 tag. There is a tag. Then there is logo inside that return. Okay, and then there is a nav tag. There is a UL tag. Each of these things is a li tag with a. So how long do you think you take to write the HTML alone for this? Exact HTML with doc type. Just tell me how long will it take for you all. I'm expecting some answers here. Okay, we have got our first answer as 5 to 10 minutes. Cool. Uh, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 8 minutes. Nice. Keep coming. So please take a quick capture of this picture so that it is staying fresh in your mind. I'll show you how easy it is to make using a couple of tools that I use, and you can measure how long it takes. I'm going to give everyone a minute time. No, this is not about framework or anything. See, we are not going to design anything. I'm just asking you to write, just this one, like what do you call this? The code, write the code. Like for example, the doc type, HTML, head, title, then some meta tags, slash head, slash sorry body, then header, h1, a, the logo as it is written. Then you have nav, ul, li, nav 1 inside a, so li, a, nav 2. I don't think we need Bootstrap for this, right? Don't get confused. So it is just pure HTML part, no CSS, just HTML. Okay, everyone says like starting from 2 minutes or maybe starting from 5 minutes. Let me be really practical here. Starting from 5 minutes till 15 minutes. That is what I have seen. Yeah, 8 minutes approx. I don't know, Anuj, how you got that number, but okay, you say that it is 8 minutes. I'm going to check in YouTube as well. So there are people who are saying like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do is Um, all right. Right. For people who are in the YouTube chat, I'm also looking at the YouTube chat as well. Indra Krishore Kumar. Anyway, I guess we have a full house on Zoom. I believe that's the reason we are not able to get you in or something like that. I'm not sure. You need to ask the Progate team. Progate, can you? Someone from Progate can respond to Indra Kishore Kumar in YouTube. Okay, cool. So yes, we have got a good number of answers, which starts from 5 minutes till 15 minutes. Okay, let's see really how long it takes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clear this off. Okay, so please take a like a screen grab in your mind. So what is there? I know what exactly have I have written here, so that's not a problem for me. I'm gonna clear all the drawing now, so it's gone. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up a new window, so you can do the same thing. What do you call using Sublime Text or JSBin. So with anything you can do. Like for example, if you want to go to jsbin.com, it is one of the awesome things I will go for. Immediately I want to see a result or something like that. If I put hello, I can click clearly see the result immediately, right? So this is one of the best sites I will go for this. Okay, now let's go to our current scenario. Okay, so 5 minutes to 8 minutes, right? So let's say we will start exactly at 15. So before that, I'm going to set it as HTML. Okay, 15. Okay, the first thing I want to do is I want to set the doc type, which is good. Hello Progate, and let's go with a header tag. There is a h1 tag, there is a tag. I write logo inside that, then I've got a nav tag, then there is a ul tag, there is a li tag. Oh, four list items. Then inside that there is a tag which says nav1, nav2, nav3, nav4. It's done. 25 seconds. People saying 5 minutes, 8 minutes, exactly 8 minutes approx. What do you think? So this is called as Zen coding or Emmet. Cool. So this is called Zen coding or Emmet, and it is available in emmet.io. So here you can actually watch a demo of how this happens. You need to write a CSS like abbreviation here. Yes, Google. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try the same thing again on JSBin or Sublime Text. Okay, so that you can see it in all the places wherever it works. Okay, so this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open jsbin.com, the awesome site which I told you. Okay, so what I said you, I want a header tag. Inside the header tag, I want a h1 tag. Inside that, I want a tag. I need to put a logo along with it. I want a nav tag as the sibling or brother. A UL tag. Inside the UL, I want 4 list items. And inside each list item, I want a and it should say nav 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, done. Happy? Cool. How was it? So everyone would have said it's less than 5 minutes or 15 minutes, or like it is in the minutes. What I did it is in seconds. So since I'm teaching you, it is actually a bit delayed. So I know that a lot of people will type faster than me and they would do it in a better way. So this is exactly what I was talking about when we are doing something like in a quick stuff and all those things. Okay. So cool. So we've got all these things. It is called as emmet, and let me send the link. Give me a second. Yep, I'll just copy this and put it over in. Oh, I'm sorry, not this link. Give me a moment. Supposed to be emmet.io. Yeah. So here there is one more thing you can see. if you go to the documentation here, in the documentation at the end, there is something called as cheat sheet. If you check out the cheat sheet, it has like literally every single thing that you want to do with Emmet. And the good part is this is supported in React as well. And we will be doing those things right now. Okay. How cool is that? And how many of you have completed your React first basics in Progate? I have seen the, like the complete thing that looks really decent. So I thought like with that knowledge, we can go ahead and start working on a small app which you can be proud of. So we can do the componentization, and we can also try to mimic a framework like Bootstrap, CSS framework like Bootstrap. It's not JavaScript. So never mix jQuery and React together. React is a virtual DOM manipulation engine, and jQuery is a real DOM manipulation engine. So they both will not go together unless and until if they are just used for, like, for example, jQuery is just used for Ajax. Even for that, there is Axios available. So let's not mix those two things. Okay, cool. Any questions so far? So I'll just send this cheat sheet link as well. The Emmet is available in VS Code, JSMin, JS Fiddle, CodePen, Sublime Text, wherever you want to use. So in Sublime Text alone, you just need to add a small plugin, an extension, but otherwise everywhere Emmet is available. It's an open source awesome tool. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so how many of you know how to create a React application? Can anyone say, like, can you all say how would you start with a React application? That is my main question. I just wanted to know if you are gonna do this way or that way, kind of a thing. So how are you going to start your React application? You want to create a new React application. So how would you create it? I'm just looking at the chats. Okay. Um, Varshita says I don't have any idea about it. I thought a lot of people have looked into the basics of React and then came here. Okay, no worries. I can actually quickly start with a small React application. There are multiple ways you can do. You can create a React application, and I'll teach you one by one. Is that okay? So by JavaScript, by using JavaScript is what everyone does it. But what is the process is the question. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing. I'll create a new React application. Okay, and then I'll take you through one by one. So there are two ways of creating React application. Yes, Arushi, how would you start with it? You cannot just like that go ahead with an index.js and start writing and it magically makes it into a React application, right? So we need to do something in the start using create React app or something like that. Even before that. Okay, I'll show you this one. Okay, for people who are starting, like literally starting React, what we need to do is, okay, let me show this. So there are two ways. Okay, should I show you the automatic, quick, instant coffee way, or should I show the normal every time people do, or like the company kind of a way? Tell me, automatic, quick way or company way? So the Jitesh in YouTube chat is right, and great. Yeah, what should I go with the first? Instant coffee way? Okay, let's go with instant coffee way. And before that, in case it's just a request from my side, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, here's a link. Please go ahead and subscribe and support me. That would be really helpful for me in doing a lot of free stuff. And it's just a small, like a token of request. So that's one thing. Okay, let's go on. So I'm not sure if everyone have heard of something called as React.new. So this is a website really. Okay. So check this out. If you open this website, what happens, you can actually see now. Boom. It starts with a small VS Code interface. Okay. So everything for you is set up here. All you need to do is just start editing the app.js. Bam. Done. How cool is this? Instant coffee way. I'm the laziest person in the whole world. Now, do you all agree? I'm just going to wait for a couple of seconds so that people in the YouTube will also be able to get it quickly there. So it takes some time for the YouTube people to get to see all these things. So what do you think? How is this? Okay, so we've got this YouTube, we've got this awesome Visual Studio Code thing set up on the browser. So you don't need any of these things, whatever I said before, just Chrome it's enough for it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just change, I'm just gonna put an enter key. The moment I put enter key or save it, it is gonna create my own new thing. Okay, so I'm gonna say hello Progate. So it says, it immediately shows on the right side as well. Instead of start editing to see the magic happen, I'm just gonna say students learning from Progate are awesome. I guess there's some bit lag. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so whatever I do here, for example, hello Progate, students learning from Progate are awesome. I'm just gonna go quickly and copy Progate, steal Progate logo. So let me go to images, get this one. I don't think this is the right logo. Why can't I get a good logo here? Okay, I'll just take this cute, whatever it is. Nice. It's the Twitter version of the logo, I believe. So I'll just do a small image. So be careful with React. It has to be always perfect stuff. So you can see how quickly it is rendering outside, and this is also getting realigned and repositioned everything. Now, what we can do is we can actually copy this URL and send it to everyone. And this is going to be like, the right live web application, whatever you have done so far. Cool. Instant coffee thing, lazy stuff. So I'm just going to send this to YouTube as well. Awesome. Nice. So we have got this one. And now you can actually inspect all these things using the dev tools here. I'm not sure if everyone is able to see the dev tools, because in YouTube, I guess it is getting, like cut half because my stupid face is coming there. So here you go. So it says this page is using the development build of React. This is the React dev tools. Okay. It says React developer tools has access to this site. So click on it. It shows this page is using the development build of React, and some warnings. Make sure you are getting scared and those kind of things are happening here. So what you need to do is right click here, inspect. And then if you go here, you can see that there is something called as components and profiler here. Click on components. You can see this app here. Whatever we have written here, there is an app. Got it? So that's super cool. It's actually a React application. Nice. Now the next thing is for people who have not used the React dev tools or any Chrome dev tools, I'm just gonna give a quick introduction about Chrome dev tools. I know like there are a couple of people, at least 2 people here, or at least 5 people here. They don't know what dev tools are, what developer tools are. Okay, can anyone say one of the famous news websites, whether it is in India or UK or like in the world, just tell me one person. I know one person means 10 people will answer. I know. Just one person tell me one news website, please. So I know that Zoom comes first. So YouTube people, you don't need to respond to this. People who are in Zoom. Okay, India Today. Arushi says that. Okay, Arushi and Niharika say India Today and Times of India. Okay, super. So I'll go to India Today. Right. So this is what says. This is what it is, right? So Arushi Rajput says India Today, right? So Arushi wants to be on the top story of India Today. So what we can do is, like, let's inspect it. And here you will see almost all the source code of this website. And here we can say, um, Arushi Rajput has been nominated by Progate to be the Prime Minister of the world. Something like that. I'm just going to copy the same thing. Boom, there you go. So that's Arushi for you all. And for those people who have not seen this kind of a thing, so this is possible with Google Chrome's dev tools. And also the another thing is like, let's say Niharika says something, Times of India. So for people who, oh, again, it's the same thing. So let's inspect it. You will see the same stuff here. And how many of you have not seen this one? How many of you are looking at, like, you can do something like this for the first time? Okay, so now the other thing which I'm gonna do is like change the image as well. So these things are like possible, right? The same way you can also do it in the React app as well. So that's exactly what I was saying. And if you do an inspect element in the components, you can do a lot of stuff. Now, what I'm gonna do here is, this is a complete web application, complete React application. And let's see how we can do the same thing in the normal world. Okay. So any questions so far? Anyone, any questions? Happy to clarify anything if you have. Will we not use render? Ishika, awesome question. Yes, we use render. If you go to the index.js here, you have React DOM.render. It is not there in app.js. App.js is a component. And this is the index file, and index will have import React and everything. And you know what? With the latest version of React, I believe it is 17, you don't even need to import React here. See, it works. Once more, tell how to change the text in inspect. Okay, so we will change Arushi to Gokul Raj. So right click, inspect element. In the elements, you will see here, the A href is here. And then all I need to do is double click on here. It says Arushi Rajput. I'm going to say Gokul Raj V. Happy Gokul? So that's a small trick that people, I mean, this is mainly not for, so what I can do is I can just take a screenshot of this. So boom, here is go. Look at me, I'm in the homepage of India today, and Google, go ahead, send it to your WhatsApp contacts and stuff like that. That would be super cool, right? Nice. Okay, now let's do one more thing. I'm just planning to run. Okay, um, so we have got this React app. So I was giving Ankita a couple of things that we will be doing. So I'm just gonna go look at that thing. So the first thing which I was talking about is the introduction to React on the cloud. So that's what you saw just now. So we have seen how we can bring the React to the cloud. You don't need anything to start with it, but this is going to be like, you don't get to customize a lot of things, but still you can do a lot of things, right? Like, to an extent you can do, but there is a limitation for this. And next one is the personalizing of the branding part. Okay, that's what we are going to do. So before doing that, I'm going to try doing the same thing in Arushi never render is in app.js. It was always in index.js. So let me confirm it for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my GitHub. I hope everyone is aware of GitHub, right? I don't want to give an introduction for GitHub. Okay. So this is my profile, by the way. Oh, I need to use this. So this is my profile, github.com/Praveen Science. And this is how it looks. It's a funny profile. So I know a lot of, I guess everyone knows how to do this, right? If not, just ask me. So this is your main profile page. To create a profile page like that, create a repository called your username/your username. So that should be the repository name, and then you can put all these funny things. Okay, so let me go ahead, create a new repository here. We'll say Progate React demo. I want to keep everything in the smaller lowercase because React likes to have it everything in lowercase. So part of Praveen's live stream with Progate, and it's going to be public. Cool. And let's go ahead and create a repository with this. Yeah, it's going to be public. I'm not touching any of these things. Just make sure you're not checking anything and click on create repository. Once you create this repository, it will create this new repository. So I'm just giving the URL of this. And once this is done, what we are supposed to do is we need to clone this repository. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly zoom this out. Okay, for cloning, the best way is, thanks Arushi. Okay, maybe I need to really check into the study material and Progate. Maybe they have a different way of doing things, but it's okay. I guess a lot of people do it in different ways. So there is no single point of doing things. So Arushi says that Progate React Study 1 has a render function in the app.js. Thanks for that question. Thanks for raising it. Maybe there could be something like that as well. Like, I mean, there are like multiple ways of doing, like there are multiple solutions for a single question, right? So it's the same thing. So copy here. When you create a repository here, just copy this here, paste it over here. Make sure you copy your username, or if you're going to clone my repository, put your username here and press at, and then copy this whole URL. Okay. Now what you do is, I hope that was clear. It should be your user name at github.com and something like this. Okay. Just going to paste this, copy this one, put it to the YouTube people as well. Okay. So why did we copy this one? So copy this one. I go to VS Code again. I'll close whatever I have got here. In the new tab, I can use clone repository or open folder. Okay, before that, I will just show you what all things are there in my uh, working folder as well. So my IDE is VS Code, and VS Code has just 8 installed extensions. So I'm not going to talk about to do tree and VS Code icons, but otherwise, I'm not also talking about Cobalt 2 official theme. It's just a theme. Okay, we'll just ignore that. So ES7 React Redux. So this is going to make me super lazy. So this is one of the best extensions I would ask you all to try. ESLint is something that's going to help you with writing the right JavaScript. We have Git history. Git history is something that's going to show you what all the changes in that particular file without going to GitHub. We have Git Lens. Git Lens is really awesome. Git Lens, what it does is, one cool feature about Git Lens is every line, it will show you who actually changed it. Look at this, you 4 years ago, and then all these things. This is really nice. Here comes the awesome stuff. I'll show you another awesome thing. So what Prettier does is, with the right configuration, let's say I'm creating a small JavaScript function. A is equal to a function with just actually returns another function, a comma b. a dot map, let's say c comma d, a dot map um, e equal to uh, will kind of like make a big thing. So e plus plus return e plus 2 12 or something like this dot join. Okay, this seems like a valid JavaScript, but it is not exactly you know. So something like this. I've just written a JavaScript line of code, but you don't understand a thing in this, right? So what we can do is the moment I set it to JavaScript and then I paste things into it, it's gonna automatically align everything for you to make sure everything is clear enough to be understood by a human being. So it removes all the parentheses, extra parentheses, it removes all the extra semicolons, and it does everything in a really nice way. So that's exactly what I wanted to say. So you don't need to spend your time on refactoring your code or making sure all the spaces and other things are correct. Okay, that is what Prettier does. So I've explained almost literally about all these things. So for these things to work, you need to keep everything in a particular way of settings. So all my settings are here. These settings can be accessed from my personal dev environment. There is a small thing called as this dot file. Okay, so if you go to this dot file, you'll be able to find all the settings here. So all you need to do is Command A, Control A, copy, go to here, paste. That's it. So, all right. So now we have done everything with respect to how we are setting up our environment. Now let's go to the folder. Let me go to my page here. Cut this, copy this URL. Let me quickly check. So one of the YouTube person is asking, like viewers is asking, like Santosh, if React had come in the last decade and jQuery very recently, would the world be behind jQuery? No way. jQuery would be like a failed, like a failed library or something like that. That's true. Unfortunately for jQuery, yes, that is the case. Right, let's go ahead. Now, if we go here, there are two options you can see. One is open a folder. Number two is a clone repository. I'm just going to go with clone repository. This is tempting to click on the clone from GitHub. Don't click it. Paste it. You have two options now: clone from URL, clone from GitHub. So I'm just going to click on the clone from URL option. It is going to ask me where I need to save this. I'll go to downloads and let me go to works and then select the repository location. So it says that your repository has been cloned. I'm just going to click on open. Once I click on open, I'll be getting this part. So I don't need anything else other than Visual Studio Code because I have all my file browser here, a search bar here, the Git history and changes here. What about terminal? Yes, terminal is also here. So I can use the terminal too. And all the features that I use in terminal and all these things are available for me here in a simple way. Quickly looking at the YouTube, I don't think any questions are there. Okay, let's go for it. Right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is check whether this directory is free. Yes, it is free. So I can even do a git status. Okay, I'm using a lot of shortcuts here. So if you want to have a look at the shortcuts that I use, again, I've got the nice thing here, git shortcuts. So we can refer to this. A lot of things are there. I've like literally made myself lazy by adding so many shortcuts here. So you can add everything here and cool. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, the first thing which I'm going to do is, let me try to install a React application in this current directory. So to install the to install a React application, what we generally do is there is a command called npx. Wait, isn't it npm? What is npx then? So generally, when you try to install a software, what do? You go to the software's website, you download the setup file, double click on it, press next, 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 finish, and then you will delete the setup file, right? That's exactly what npx does. So we will be installing React using a setup file. It's again a package. So technically, we are supposed to do npm install create React app, create React app. Then I need to add a folder name. So folder name, and then npm uninstall create React app. This is what I need to do. But what npx does is awesome. So npx create React app folder name will do the same thing for you. You don't need to do everything yourself. This is actually a replacement for it. Since our folder name is going to be the current folder, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the folder name as this. So this is installing in the current folder. So I'll just copy this one. Depending on your internet connection, this will take however time it takes. Okay, so I'm just gonna maximize this and let you watch the way it installs. And any other questions? In the meantime, I'm just gonna quickly look at my speed, internet speed. So if I do fast.com or something like that, so this clocks me around 110 Mbps. And yeah, I don't think anything that we need to be concerned about the upload speed. Your download speed matters a lot. So let's go ahead. So what this does is it's going to install the create React app globally or locally, and then it is going to create a new React app in the current directory. It's installing a couple of packages using React, React DOM, React scripts. How it is installing? It is using something called as CRA template. That is going to be another package which is going to install all these things. Okay, any questions? So now it's doing a lot of things. It says that it has actually installed all these stuff. So it says that there is like React scripts installed. The version is 4.01. CRA template has been installed. React 17 has been installed. React DOM 17 has been installed. Make sure that React and React DOM are in the same versions, which is very important. And now it is actually removing the template package as well. And now that's done. So it has actually installed 120 package. No, 120 packages are looking for funding, but yeah, it installed like so many packages now, and all these packages are there in this node modules. So if I refresh this page, technically there is supposed to be a Git thing. So if I refresh this one, it's going to show only 18 changes that are there. Okay, so whenever you do any kind of changes, make sure you do a commit of it. So what we did so far, we just created a basic React app using CRA. So create React app is the application. So I just did it. And then if I do git status, look at this. Until I create something, it was saying that the branch is not clean. So it shows with a small X mark. Now, once I do a commit, the branch is clean. Nothing to commit, working tree is clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a git push. And once I do a push, it's gonna get updated in the GitHub repository as well. So if I go back to my repository and refresh the page, boom. So whatever we did just now is there. So we can time travel back to this place and then we can get things done as well. Wherever, okay, so Shankaresh is asking, can we use this npx in any folder or directory? Technically, it needs to be used in which folder you want to install it. Okay, so make sure you're installing it in the right folder. All right. Okay, now let's go ahead with how to run this React application. So here, if you read this one, this is going to start the development server. So created package, created Progate React demo at this particular directory. Inside that directory, you can run several commands. So npm start will start the development server. This will bundle the application into a static files for production. So currently the development server is using JSX. It's going to compile it and then run it. It's going to be very performance utilizing. So if you want to make sure it is really performant, high performant, what you need to do is you need to make this into bundled and static files, and then you need to send it out. So for that you need to do npm run build, npm test. This might be helpful when you are going for a work like job or any of these enterprise applications. You need something called as unit testing. So for unit testing you need to use test runners, and npm test will be doing something on it. Then finally run eject. Don't do that, please. This is not for us. So what will this do is, like, if you want to hack into the React code base, make some changes on React the way it works, then you will be using that. Please don't do that. So we are just using the almost all these things are configurable using the package.json. So there is no use in using React npm run eject. So let's start with the npm start, which is the basic thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my browser, make sure everything is closed, or like, see, I'm just going to say this one. That's it. So I will just have this one. Okay, these things are copied. This is there. So let's have this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write npm start and press enter. So if you see, in few seconds, it's going to say it is starting the development server. And yeah, this is one irritating thing. I'll just get rid of this one. There you go. You got a React application running directly. So what I need to do now is, okay, let me do one thing. Let me close these things, put this half page here, put this rest half page here. Okay, so if I go to my app.js, again, for someone who were asking whether I need to do this one, so all I need to do is app.js doesn't have anything kind of like a React DOM or render, but index will have it. So index will have the React DOM.render. And if you want to have this whole thing as a progressive web app, you can have it that way as well. So it is here. So React DOM.render is here. So what we are going to do is, let's go to this learn React and change it into hello Progate and save this. Immediately, without even refreshing on the right side, you'll be able to see it change. Okay, so now all we need to do is, inside the same files, I'm gonna go back to my, oh, we are having this here itself, right? So we have our app.js here, right? I'm just gonna copy this whole div class name app. The same div class name app is here, and I'm just gonna change this one, save it. Boom. We have got this one. So if you copy this particular link and no, and check with this thing. So both are almost same. Only difference is we have an app.css which has a different thing. So app.css. So that has like a text align center and all these things are there. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just go to the style.css, copy this thing, paste it here, save it. Boom. Any difference you see? Both are the same. Okay, so that's how you kind of like set up the React application both in the cloud as well as in local. This is the local host version. This is the cloud version. I'm just going to make these two screens big so that we can have nice screen size for writing things. Right. So let's see what we can do next. let's do the cleanup part. Okay, we don't need all these things here. And moreover, what I would request everyone to do is, let me open this, and this is the source folder. So in the source folder, everything is in the same page, right? So I'm just going to create a couple of folders: components, styles, assets, services, tests, helpers. Okay, these are the couple of folders I'm creating. If you see this, the VS Code icons actually shows, okay, these are assets, these are components with a Lego brick, helpers with small gears, services with other gears, tests with some test kind of a thing, styles with some CSS code, and all these icons are coming really nice. Okay, so we've got all these things now set up for us. So please tell me, where will this app.css go? Sorry, not to styles, but it's going to go to the trash. The moment I click on delete, it immediately says it's failed. So if we go to here, it says like it's failed to compile, and yeah, it is to be honest, it keeps looking at all these things very quickly, and it's persistent. So I'm just going to close all these things. So app.js goes into the components, app.test.js goes into the tests, index.css goes to trash, index.js stays there, logo.svg can go to the trash. So all you need to have is index.js, report web vitals, and setup tests on the main folder, and you should have a couple of folders here like this. Okay, now we need to fix this particular application. So let's go to index.js, get rid of the CSS file, and we are not importing app from here, so we are importing it from the component/app. Perfect, that worked. And let's put this guy inside the git ignore. So all right, so we have got the app from this, but still it says app.css from the app. So we will go to app.js. Wait, app.css is not to be found. Yeah, exactly, app.js. And now here, we don't need all these things. I'm going to delete everything. If you want to create something, a quick, like for example, I want to create a quick React class component. I do RCC press enter, boom. I've got a React class component here. So I can just do export default app. I don't need this export default here so that it is easier to manage. And here I'm going to say this div needs to be .app. So div class name app. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put h1 saying hello Progate, and a h2 saying students are awesome. And then I put this, it automatically writes the code for me. So whenever you return something, you need to make sure that you return only a single node. This is only a single node which can contain multiple nodes. If you need to return something more, like for example, this is footer or something like that, what you need to do is you need to use something called as a fragment. So you can use this way. Okay, cool. I believe these are the basic stuff which you might have already learned. So I'm just going to get rid of these 3 lines and save this. The moment you save it, it automatically formats the code. So you don't need to worry about formatting. For example, if I put like this, and I put this one like this, and then I put like this and save it, even then it will save it perfectly. So that's cool part about React. Okay. What else do we have? So currently the setting up of these things is done. So if you see here, it's going to say hello Progate and students are awesome. So now we need to make sure the tests are passing. Just once we will do that. So you need to use something called as Npm Test. So what it does is it's going to try finding out the files in the test folder, and then it's going to run the app.test.js, and then it's going to say it has failed because it says that it is not able to find the app component. So let's make it working. /components/app. Now it runs and it says render learn React link is not working because it is not able to see that. So we will change it to hello Progate and save it. Everything passes. We will say bye bye to the test. And now what we will do is we will just add everything and say cleaned up the code from CRA. Then what all things did we do? Organized the code into right places. Then we removed unnecessary assets. These are a couple of things that we did. Okay, cool. Now the next thing is every time when you do this, let's push it off. Push the code so that everyone is able to see the code. Okay, I'm just going to close this one. So we have hello Progate. What about the CSS? I would say be lazy again. So you remember we did that, like this thing with this one, there is a logo, there are like 4 nav things, etc. So if you want to write the CSS for it, it is going to be really tough, right? So I have another, lazy version of doing things as well. So if you go to SassMeister, this is a place where you can see how you can write it in a simple way. So let's say we have header, then there is a h1 and nav. Inside the h1 you have a, inside the nav you have ul, inside the ul you have lia, and then there are like four things, right? So what you generally do is you kind of like type in header, then header, oops, h1, header h1 a. Hey, isn't this boring? Let's do something awesome. I don't want to write everything. I start with header. Inside the header I have h1, and inside the h1 I have a. Then inside next to h1 I have nav. Next to inside nav I have ul. Inside ul I have li. Inside li I have a. Since this particular parser, it doesn't care about the empty rules, what I'm going to do is each rule I'm going to add a comment. Boom. I just did 16 lines of code. I've got 21 lines of write code. How cool is this? So this is called as SCSS, and this can be used for a lot of things for generation of CSS. And not only that, similar to JavaScript, you have a lot of things that you can do. For example, you can use that mixin. Mixins are similar to functions. So I'm just going to put link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this link in this two links. So what I'm going to do here is at include. So this is the function call. That is the function definition. Here is the function call. I'm just going to put link. Now you can see that it is not changed anything. So if I need to do hover, I can do bam. There are two places where the hover is coming up, right? So how is this? Any questions? All right. So now what I'm going to do now is, so let's do the same thing on a different way. Okay. So what would be the best way to do? Cool. I'm going to go back to my React application. The React doesn't know that how to use SCSS. So we need to do npm install node sas. This is going to give the support for SCSS. SCSS means sassy CSS or syntactically awesome style sheet. So that's exactly what SCSS means. And it is coming from Ruby on Rails kind of a background. So now the problem is it has actually installed Node SAS version 5. And I don't think this actually works with React. Okay, it actually works with React. So this is cool then. Installed Node SAS or installed SCSS support. Now let's create a SCSS file inside the styles index.scss, and I'm going to put body, font family, open sans or something like that, and then add it to the app.js, index.js. There is only one place I'm going to add the index. And okay, right. Node.js is not compatible with this. I guess that. So what we need to do is we need to do npm uninstall Node.js, and I'm going to do npm install a latest version of Node.js. So I guess I remembered this one. I didn't know that it needs to run this so that I can understand it. So npm install Node.js at, not sure if this is the right way of doing things, but let's see. Cool, I believe this works. So I'm just going to get rid of this one and let's see if this recreates. Um, it actually installed the older version. So I guess I need to like quit the node application and do npm start again. And we need to just wait for some more time. It's starting the development server just now. Cool, that works. Look at this. This is actually the font changed in the right way. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is add these two things, downgraded node SAS to 4, because that is what is supported by React at the moment. It seems to be a big bug in the React environment anyway. So we'll just leave it that way. And yeah, let's do this. Now we have got the imported style sheet, added a simple style sheet for simple skeleton SCSS for app. So now what we will be doing here is we need to create the branding part. Okay, we know that this works. All these things are working fine. Now let's try to use Bootstrap. So I use Bootstrap CDN.com. So this has all the Bootstrap code. I'm going to take only the CSS part. So I'll just go with the CSS, which is copied to the clipboard. So now we need to do a couple of changes here. So what we are going to do is, it says React app and it shows this React symbol, right? Oh, not this one. It shows the React app and it shows the React logo here, but we need Progate's logo. So what we will be doing here is we'll go to the public folder. In the index.html is where everything is. So I'm just going to go here after all the link rels are done. After the last link, I'm just going to put link and save it. So this is going to add the Bootstrap CSS. You can see that the whole page changed. The layout of the page changed, which is cool. Now we are using Bootstrap's layout. Okay, and we are also using our own style sheet, which is given here. So if we go to the index.scss, we are also going to mimic the same thing as the components. So I'm just going to create a new file called app.scss, and in the index, I'm going to put at import app. And going to app.scss, I'm going to do .app, and let me do a background color 000 or something like that. You can clearly see that it has been working. It is working fine. So we can get rid of this one and don't give any empty references. So that's actually not a good idea to give empty references. And now, okay, so right now we have set up the React application, cleaned up from the React app, and then we are going to change the branding part. Just now we have added the Bootstrap CSS. Now we will also change the title here by changing things here. Instead of React app, we'll use Progate app. Okay, what about the logo here? So I always say, like, let's go ahead. Let's go to Progate logo. I believe this there should be a file type PNG, and it's okay. Let's use it for now. Okay, so this is the Progate logo. Mm, it's technically this logo. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this as Progate logo here, and there is something called as favicon generator. So go to the favicon-generator.org and choose this file. Generate only 16x16 favicon. Maintain the original dimensions. Do not include, maybe that's better. So when you click on the create favicon, it's going to use this favicon for us. Okay, so download the generated favicon. It's going to say favicon.ico. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go to this part. So we have this public folder anyway here. So where are we here? Okay, open in a new tab. So inside the public folder, I've got a favicon. Okay, so I'm just gonna take this favicon, replace it here. Just keep looking at this tab. Okay, I'm gonna click on replace. The moment I click on replace, this becomes Progate's icon, which is cool. Now with this logo 192 and logo 512, I'm just gonna copy this one and make this as logo 192, duplicate it, and make this into logo 512. Copy these two things, move it to here, replace it. There you go, that's done. So we have got our app icons also saved because there is a manifest JSON, and this manifest will make sure all these things are loading correctly in the web and app. Nice. So our branding part is done for now. So what I'm going to do here is let's make index.js and then updated branding and logo. So what all things we did: changed the title, changed the logo, and added Bootstrap CSS. Okay, why only CSS? Bootstrap runs on Java jQuery, the Bootstrap 4 version. So we are not using jQuery here. So we are not supposed to use it. All right, cool. The next thing that we are going to do is let's try to create a Bootstrap component. Okay, so inside the components, let's say we will have a header component. So this header component needs to be a Bootstrap based component. So what I have done before is, in order not to waste the time, I've created something like Bootstrap React helpers. So this has a card element, this has a container, this has headers. So all these things are based out of Bootstrap. I'm just going to copy and paste it here. Now, what does this do? So if you do a Bootstrap for header, you can see that this is what is the main code behind it. So that's exactly what I have done here. So if you see this, we've got 3 props. It's a functional component. It doesn't do anything. Has 3 props: a dark mode, Boolean dark, a children, whatever you put inside this will be coming here, a class name which can be added to it. Dark, true or false is decided by whatever you are giving here. If it is true, it's going to set it as dark. If it is false, it is going to set it as light, and that will be used as navbar dark or navbar light, and bg dark or bg light. Then whatever you put inside the code, inside the tags, it will come here as children. Then finally, you have class name. If you add a class name, it's going to add the class name. If not, it's going to be nothing. Now, if we go to the app.js, before that, let's say created a header component. I hope there are no questions so far. Just gonna quickly check the, yeah. And now let's work on this one. I want a header here, not anything else. So I'm going to get rid of these two things. Type in header. For some reason, it is not working. So what I would do is I'll just do import header from header. Now, what I can do is I can put header and give a dark. So how many of you want dark? How many of you want light? I'm just going to put dark as true. And then I'm going to put hello Progate or like Progate app and save it. Boom. You got a Progate app. So the moment I copy this one, make it as false, save it, I've got a light header. Another one, true Progate app light, Progate app dark. I don't need to write a lot of code to achieve these things. The simple thing which I did is like add a couple of things, as simple as that. So there are like multiple ways of rendering this. So what I can do is I can do something like say Progate app, an array, another Progate app light. So this is the like the worst way of rendering things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a map here. So here I'm going to use one header text key. So whenever you're using a you're using a, what do you call this? A loop or something, you need to use a key. So let's use a key here. And this darkness. So if I do this way and get rid of these three things, I get all the Progate app 3 times, but I need this content to be coming here. So text, boom, text is fine. How about the darkness? So if key %2 not equal to 0, then do this. Actually equal to 0, do this. As simple as that. Now we can also do one more thing. Lightweight, dark chocolate. So whatever you want to put, and it's going to take up the same way of things. Okay. So to this level, we can do the componentization techniques. Okay. So different ways of rendering components. Now the final thing is, any question? Any questions at all? Okay. No questions. Cool. Last thing is the connected components, which is very important thing which we'll be looking at. So what we will do is let's create a state. This is a state object. It's a special object where we can actually change the thing. So let's use dark as true at the moment. And instead of doing all these maps and other things, let's get rid of everything. And this dark will have this dot state dot dark. And we can get rid of this key and say Progate app. Boom, we've got it in the dark way. Now you can do one more thing here. So if you inspect it and go to the components, you'll be able to see this app has a state called dark, whether it is true or false. So if I tick on this, it becomes light. Tick on this, it is becoming dark. So we can connect this with a input and then we can make it work nicely. So what we can do is I'm going to create a small input using like form. Actually, I don't need a form. So dot form group. Let's look into Bootstrap quickly. So if you go to the Bootstrap CSS and let's go to the documentation, let's go to the 4.6. Wow, that's nice. I didn't know that there is 4.6 now. I'll go with 4.5. Do we have 4.5, please? Yep, we do have 4.5. And here, if I type in form controls and I need a select, sorry, I need a checkbox, default checkbox and this thing. Okay, so I need to use a form check. Inside the form check, I have a form check input. So input checkbox dot form check input, and then I need to have a form check label. Um, right. So for the HTML for what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an ID here. And I'll put like dark. Now for this one, I can give MR2 so that I've got some margin right here. So that looks good. So what I'm going to do before that is I'll do container row call 12. And inside that, I'm going to put all these form elements. It's going to be the last one, which I'm going to show. This is the controlled components. So we will be able to see this way. And this guy can have a good number of padding. And yeah, I don't need this name. So all I need to do is check and uncheck. Now, when I check or uncheck, this needs to connect with the state. Let's do a handle check E. So what this needs to do is this dot set state dark is going to be e dot target dot checked. So that will have whether the whole thing is checked or unchecked. So for that, what I'm going to do is I need to give the checked value as this dot state dot dark, and on change I should do this dot handle check. So once I do these two things, if I click on this, it's going to be doing the stuff like this, like whether it is dark or light, it's going to do this. There you go. That's a connected component. Implemented a connected component using React. And we are going to push this thing. All the 8 commits are now available for you all to work around. So that's exactly which I wanted to show you today. A right way of doing things and a connected component as well. So I hope everyone found it useful and enjoyed it. Any questions? Anyone awake? Hi. Sorry for a long duration session today. And so shall we see if right, anyone online? Ankita, are you there?
Yes, Praveen, I'm
Hey,
there.
Ankita, come on.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, I think it was a good session because it was not long, as you mentioned, and it was really interactive. And I really like that you helped them create a Progate app. It was good. It was a basic one. So I hope everyone who had joined with us have got some information and they were able to create something side by side. But if you were not, you can definitely come back to the YouTube live link. To the ones who are on Zoom with us, we will be sharing the YouTube live link with you so that you can go
I'll
back
do
to
it
them.
right away. It's easier for me. I've
Right,
got the
right.
link right away.
Yeah, right. And so Praveen, like before, I think till the time some people are asking the questions, maybe I think they are the questions related to Progate React lessons.
Okay.
But till then, you can maybe let them know towards the end of the session, maybe you can let them know the path which you would like to suggest beginners to follow.
Actually, I'll do one thing. Right now, I will show the path. Okay. So if I can share my screen. So here,
Yes.
um, so here you go. There is something called as roadmap.sh. And if you want to become a front end developer or a back end developer or a React developer, you need to learn these things. You can take this as a nice guidance.
Mhm.
I've told about this one in my YouTube live streams, my previous YouTube live streams. So
Mhm.
you can have a quick look at that. I have explained everything. I've also explained a lot of things about internet and cloud computing, etc. So the same thing is with the backend developer, what all things that you need to do. Coming to React, here's where you can learn things. So React, first thing is the fundamental topics, the functional components, class components, the component lifecycle, all these advanced topics, then the ecosystem, the React routers, then forms, then we have APIs, etc. So there are a lot of things that are happening. And also to re-say this one, I'm also doing this 30 days of React. And this is going to be really interesting for people who want to learn something in the practical way. So it is available here. And I'm just going to add this one too in the stuff. Yeah, there are a lot of people are saying whether yeah, the questions are about Progate's sessions, whether they are free or paid. I guess Ankita can answer it better. And apart from that, any questions related to React, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or YouTube as well. So almost all my live streams are, like the comments enabled. So if you check out my like the this is my YouTube channel, and here you see a lot of things are related to React and uh, other niche options. So I also have a full stack web development kind of series and all, etc. But yeah, I guess Progate has a really a structured way of doing things. So if you see the playlist, there are like a couple of playlists which you can check it out. There is also portfolio building stuff based out of HTML and CSS for people who are beginning to work on these things. So yeah, just check them out. I guess that should be enough for now, I believe. What
Right,
say?
right, right. That's nice, Praveen. Thank you for suggesting that. And for the ones who have been asking about the React lessons, so to access React, the first lesson of every lesson on Progate, like of every course on Progate, is free of cost for you to experience how Progate is like. And for the rest, you can definitely come back to the Progate Plus plans. It is just rupees 470 per month. You get access to the whole platform, and we also have a web development path in which you can actually learn the languages which are related to web development, so that you can get into the full stack web development side. And we do guided structure program and a lot. So if someone is interested, you can definitely reach out to me on ankita@progate.com, and I'm available for that. So I hope, Praveen, is everything good, like all good from your side? Okay, nice. Thank you, everyone who joined us today on the Zoom call and the YouTube live. And thank you so much, Praveen, for coming live with us. I really hope that whatever you have taught today, all the students who have joined with us today, they will be going back and trying to implement something new, experiment with the code, because it's very important, according to me, to experiment with whatever you have created so that you can learn and
So only
research.
when you practice things, it's not about like where you're
Right,
learning things. You can learn from me, you can learn from your friends, you can learn from Progate or anywhere. Even there are like hundreds of YouTube tutorials. Unless and until you try it out and you experience the problems and
right,
then you ask for help. I mean, whether you ask for help or solve it yourself, only then you will have everything, registered. So that's
right.
how I learned things. I also try to teach others. Then when I try teaching others, there are like lots of questions. Like for example, I'm not sure it is Arushi Rajput. She
Hmm.
had a couple of questions which made me think, okay, this is the way you need to do it. So there are people who are doing in such a way as well. So you get to know a lot of questions, a lot of different ways of doing things. So that's one way of handling stuff.
Right, right, right. Thank you for this, Praveen, and thank you, everyone. Wish you all a good weekend and happy coding. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.
Hey, and don't forget to add me on LinkedIn. Bye.